Hey guys, how you doing tonight? So I'm going to tell you about something that really grinds my gears. Oh, it grinds my gears a lot. So what really upsets me is when somebody, if I'm having a bad day, if I'm having a bad week, if I'm having a bad month, or let's say even a bad year, I go to tell someone about how I'm feeling, if it's upset, if it's frustrated, if it's sadness, and they come and they look at me and they say, well, it's all in your head. And why that frustrates me so much? It's because it's true. It is in my head. That is where my emotion lies. That is who I am. That is where my personality is. And yet they have this power when they say that statement. They have a power that says that mental health and not feeling all right is somehow less of an issue than physical health. It's like we have some opportunity to change it and that it doesn't matter as much, and somehow it is easier than physical health. But if I'm on stage here right now and I had a broken leg, would you come up to me if I was complaining about it and say, it's all in your leg, and then just say, walk it off? No, that would be absurd. People would look at you like you're going crazy. Yet we have that standard for mental health. Yet when we are talking about mental health, somehow we're responsible for fixing it. We are able to fix it so easily. That's just simply not true. In 2003, there was a study conducted that physical health and mental health fire the same synapse in your brain. It is the same. And that was 15 years ago. And I mean, ASU, we're #1 for innovation. You can't go without saying #1 in innovation for ASU in one day. You gotta hear it. So, how is it that 15 years ago, that study came out and proved that fact, and yet we still have the stigma today? There is still an issue today. I don't understand how that could even possibly be considered. So it is something that culturally we have to fix. So let me tell you a story about someone that I know. They were in high school. They were an athlete. That is who they were. That was their sole identity. And they were pretty damn good. And they had 5 concussions. The third one, a very, very severe frontal lobe concussion. And the frontal lobe is where your fight or flight is. It's where your emotion is. It is where basically your mental health is. And they went and they got tested, and they were in the bottom 1% of the nation for impact. That's pretty bad. And the doctors, what they said were, you might experience some headaches. You might not be able to walk in a straight line, which was true. You might have some difficulties. Never once mentioned about the emotional aspect. And so they went on. They, over time, experienced a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. Their fight or flight was through the roof. They would constantly be terrified, but on the outside, they would look like they're angry. They wouldn't be able to make friends. They wouldn't be able to be normal again. They didn't know who they were. It got to a point that they just could not take it any longer. They went to the hospital multiple times through the ER. They would simply explain where they were, that they had multiple concussions and very severe. They would immediately get turned back into the emergency room without any question. But when they said that they were suicidal, they just said it was all in their head. And they only focused on the physical aspect. Now, when I was telling you this story, who did you picture? Did you picture a football athlete, some big guy? Would you believe it if I said it was me? It was me. I was that athlete. that lost my soul identity. We're not going to be able to fix anything by one person. We all have to come together. This is a community issue that needs to be solved now. So the next time someone says that it is all in your head, know that it is, and that it's justified. It is recognized, and it is real. Thank you.